Good morning. Welcome to Keep DEVLOG episode 3. Thank you for joining me again. All right, today I want to talk a little bit about product validation. How do you know when you have a product idea that it'll actually succeed in the future? The reality is you don't know. You don't know until you have a customer who buys it, and you have many customers who buy it. But that's kind of putting, the chicken and egg problem. Which came first? If you don't have a product, you can't have people sell it. So you're looking for proxies. You're looking for things that indicate that the bet is worthwhile. So there's a couple things that I like to use when I'm thinking about whether a product should even be pursued at all. I'm building Keep for myself, fundamentally. And I think obviously a lot of people have the same problem, but I'm building it first and foremost for me and my family. So one of the questions we can ask is when there's a product idea is, does it serve my own needs? Is it scratching my own itch? And if it scratches my own itch, then I say, this is a thing worth considering. Let's see if there's other people that have a similar itch, and let's talk to them and get a sense. And so I've gone around and I've talked to a number of people, and people go, yes, what you're describing with Keep seems to make sense. I have a similar itch. Okay, so that validates, at least gets us down the road to say we should probably put some basic effort into figuring this out. But then that's only as much confidence as it can provide. There's another interesting thing that can happen in the marketplace to validate a product idea. And this is actually something that happened this week. So just stepping back just a quick second, it is very difficult to create a brand new market. So what do I mean by that? It is very difficult to make something for which there is no demand whatsoever in the world. A lot of products fulfill either an existing demand, someone wants bread, a baker makes bread, so forth, or they take and refine a product to a new point on an existing thing. So let me be clear. So for example, Tesla took the idea, obviously we have automobiles, internal combustion engine automobiles. Tesla then takes and iterates on the idea of the automobile by bringing in the electric powertrain, self-driving features, all kinds of other stuff. And so we know that there's an established market already there for automobiles. Similarly, in Keep, we know that there's an established market for chat tools. There's actually a bunch of them out there. So we got WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, you got Facebook Messenger. And then you get into the interesting ones that are closer to Keep, which is Slack and Microsoft Teams. And so what all these tools out there and their billions and billions of users do is they show that there is demand for chat tools. And they come in the consumer context for families and people and their lives, but then they also come in the B2B context like Slack and Teams. And so we know that there's a market there. Now the question is there a market for a chat tool that isn't just chat, but actually remember what we're saying, we're taking some tools and we're layering it over that chat substrate. So interestingly, Slack, obviously one of the largest workplace chat tools around. What happened this week? Well, this week they announced that they're bringing to-dos to Slack. Interesting, hey? So what that means is they've already started seeing the opportunity to start layering tools into Slack. All right, so that's very interesting to us. So that actually partially validates our hypothesis that tools belong in chat tools and they can augment them. Now, immediately the question comes up, oh, well, Slack's doing this, why even bother? That's okay. It's okay that Slack's doing this because they're training and prepping a market for us when we have our own fresh take. And that's okay. It's like I said earlier, it's really hard for us to make a brand new market. It's much easier for us to iterate and improve on a pre-existing market and do something fresh, do something different, do a different take on that. And so that's actually really good news. It means that the ideas that I was ruminating on some time ago, that they exist already in the world and that they're being pursued. And now it's up to us at Keep to execute them in a way that makes it better to use this tool. Also, Slack and Microsoft Teams and some of these other tools are very focused in different audiences. We're going to go after the family, the friend, and the tools that support them, not just to-do lists. That's going to be simple stuff when it comes down to what we're actually after. We're going after the more interesting, deeper, connection-oriented things. And so Salesforce is a big company. I think a lot of resources, but they also have this big thing called product inertia. And so Slack has been going in a particular direction for a long time. They've got a development plan. They're seeing a certain set of needs for their customers, and they're just going to go that direction. So it's up to us as Keep. We're young, agile. We're still figuring ourselves out. It's up to us to be able to find a new path while leveraging that education that they've been doing for all these decades. So it's really interesting. So in terms of product validation, we actually had a really nice step this last week. We've gone from taking the bet of I've got an itch, I need a tool that solves my problems this way. You have a problem? Yeah, okay. You have a problem? Yeah, okay. That's awesome. Now we've got Slack saying, what about putting tools on the chat substrate? And they're starting that. And so that takes us from the, scratching our itch, N of 1 to like N of 3, which is like, you got that problem? Yes, you got that problem, to hypothesis validating by an existing player in the market. So that's actually really exciting. And again, it's not a big threat. They've got their own inertia. They're going in their own direction. And we don't care about their marketplace yet. More on that later. But our focus, and every company has to have a singular focus, and our focus will be on the family, on the friend, and all the things of close relationship. I'll add another thing of why I don't think Salesforce/Slack is actually truly a major threat. And I'm not going to get into the nuances of these challenging arguments, but let's just say that each of these companies has been, like each of the major tech companies has been recently struggling with some of their terms of service issues. And it's complicated, but basically Salesforce has started using all your Slack data for training their AI. How do people feel about that? Check Twitter, check online. It isn't good. And so I think there's an opportunity as well for Keep to do something different with how we treat customers' data. Early on, talking very transparently about it, providing deep controls, and just following through on that. Some big companies, they see customers as a potential to vacuum up all their data. It just keeps happening. It keeps happening. Your data is yours. We're just here to steward it. We're here to help facilitate it, and that's that. So then you ask, okay, the next logical question, which is, what do we do about AI? AI requires massive amounts of data to train the models in order for them to be able to do things. One of the main sources of training data is people putting data into the platform, like what you would put data into the Facebook platform or Twitter or any of these others. They're taking that data, slurping it up into a big machine, training an AI model so they can either serve you an ad better or do some other service. It's very natural for Slack to do something similar where they vacuum up the data and then provide intelligence. Data and AI are an unsolved problem in Keep, but I do know this. Central to our values is freedom and agency. So whatever we do down the line with regard to AI, it'll be with those values, and it'll be kind of antithetical to the, we're just big tech, we're just going to vacuum it up. That's not how we're going to do it. You're going to be in charge. You don't want your data to be touched at all. We ain't going to touch it. But more that'll get more unpacked more clearly as the days go by. But big win overall this week for Keep as a concept. The idea that putting taking a chat substrate, putting other tools adjacent to that and alongside that seems to be more and more a validated concept. So now it's up to us to get to market as soon as possible in order to bring what I have in my mind about how Keep will work to you all and to the masses, because I think it'll have a positive benefit on all of our lives. So thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, there's a subscription button at the bottom of your screen. Hit that thing for me. It'll let you know when I've posted the next devlog. You'll be able to keep up with it there. I believe you click the little bell to be notified. And if you have a comment or a question about just the concepts in general, feel free to leave a comment on the video. They should be turned on. And yeah, I'll get back to you and maybe even reply in a devlog just like this. But I appreciate your time, and yeah, it looks like Keep has had a little bit further validation this week. See you next time.